Okay. So welcome to tonight's session where we're going to be talking about project status updates, or we can equally call it project status reports. Yeah, and I hope you can see my screen. I'm sure everyone here can see my screen. Yeah. So what is project status report or project status update? Is a regular summary of progress, risk, and performance of a project. It communicates the project status to stakeholders, ensuring transparency and informed decision. As a good project manager, you must be reporting the status, the progress of your project to the stakeholders on regular basis, periodic basis. Is part of the things you are going to decide during stakeholder analysis. The type of stakeholders you are reporting will determine the duration and the pattern of the reporting. Some stakeholders will tell you, I want it every week. I want it every 2 weeks. I want it monthly. Give us updates on monthly basis. If it's a project like a road construction project that lasts for like 2 years, there's no way you can come every week to be reporting. For instance, we are working with a state government and we are working on a road. You can't be coming to the governor every week to report the status of the project. This can be every 1 month you come and report, or 2 months you come and give them updates. So your stakeholder determine the way. It's like you are implementing a CRM system. This is a 3 months project or a 4 months project. Yeah, if you are reporting on weekly basis, is idle, is understandable. So that is what we mean by project status reports. You must give updates about what you do. The major reason why the stakeholders want to see that is to see if there are risks. We talk about the risk. If there are challenges, we talk about the challenges. You don't come when the problem is compounded and start telling them. So they want to see everything as it happened. The purpose is for transparency. Keep all stakeholders updated on progress. Risk management, identify risks and issues early to address them proactively. Decision support provides data for informed decision making. Accountability, track project milestone and deliverable against planned timeline. What are the key elements of this project status report? In project status report, we have these key elements. When you're trying to prepare, you must have the project overview. Yeah, must cover the name, the project manager, the date, and the reporting period. Then we'll have executive summary, high-level summary of progress, key achievements, and challenges. We have status indicator. Schedule, on track, delay, or ahead of schedule. Budget, within budget, over budget, or under budget. Scope, changes or deviation from the original scope. So these are things we want to look out for. All these delays, if there is any delay in your project, you must report it. You don't hide it. and we talk about the reason why there is this delay. The stakeholders need to know. Budget, are you having budget overrun, under budget, or over? You must talk about it. If there is any change in project scope or circumstance, you must talk about it. It's part of the thing. These are the key things you are reporting. Progress update. When you want to talk about progress update, you talk about milestones and deliverables. All the milestones and deliverables you need to meet. You need to talk about you've arrived, you made this milestone, then you talk about it. If you miss a milestone, then why are you missing that milestone? Deliverables you need to achieve for the week. For instance, if you are reporting on weekly basis, you must have mapped out what you need to achieve for the week. Every week there is a target of what you need to achieve. You need to talk about all the deliverables. Have you achieved them? You didn't achieve them. Why didn't you achieve them? And then you need to tell stakeholders what are they expecting for the week. That is upcoming tasks or milestones. They need to be aware of every plan you make. And how do you report issues and risk? All issues and risk must be identified, and their impact must be assessed as well. You must create a mitigation plan, a mitigating circumstance, all mitigating, or that is risk. You must have a plan to mitigate them. Resource allocation. You must update on resource utilization. How far have you gone? Have you used 30% of your resources? Have you used 20% of your resources? You must tell them how much you've used and how much is remaining in all your resources. Attachment, if applicable. If there's any supporting documents such as charts, schedule, or detailed data, you need to attach them for the stakeholders to see. When we talk about status report or updates, we have weekly status reporting. Provide frequent updates of projects. So it's frequent. Every week you report. If your project is a short project, then you have to follow the weekly reporting. If it's a longer project, you must have to use like monthly. So that is it. Then exceptional reports is when there is sudden changes in situation, in project plan. Projects could, there's sudden changes. All of it, they are like, let's say, national disaster, that kind of crisis. National disaster affect like COVID-19. When COVID-19, every country decided shutting down. In a situation like that, you can call for emergency emergency meeting. That is exceptional. Like what's all this war that is happening in the Middle East. All the surrounding countries, for a project manager, so many countries were affected. All the countries around the Middle East were affected. Some were shutting down. They are evacuating people. In a situation like this, you call for emergency meeting. This is exceptional cases. You realize you are running short of budget. Your budget cannot take you through. You call for exceptional report. That is exceptional cases. You need extension of time. This is exceptional cases. Then dashboard reports. In some cases, company build dashboard to report project metrics. This one is automatically, the project is reporting itself. You don't need to come often and tell the stakeholders. Whatever you are doing, working within your project, That's the what we have this kind of dashboard. We use Power BI to design a dashboard, and it's in strategic places where stakeholders offices, they see what we are doing. We don't need to go and tell them because they see it. All our milestones, all our achievements is reporting on the dashboard. So let's look at step by step you can take to prepare your report or facilitate a report. Before anything, the first thing is to gather data on progress, risk, issue, and financial. We need to gather all the data within every section of the project plan. Update key metrics. Update schedule. The schedule is time. Yeah, you need to update to know how far we've gone and how far is remaining. Are we on track? Budget. How far have we gone with our budget? Is it working according to plan? Are we on track? Is there a deviation? You talk about it. Scope. Are we on track? Are we deviating from our scope? And the resource status indicators. So these are things you need to prioritize while reporting. Summarize progress. Highlight completed tasks. All the completed tasks, achievements, and milestones, you need to summarize them to let them know what you guys have achieved. You need to capture risk as well. All the risk, even the one that you have closed, you still need to talk about it and tell them, yeah, this is the risk, but we've closed it. All those that are not yet closed, you still need to talk about it. Yeah, these are the risks we have outstanding. This is the plan we'll have on resolving this risk. You still need to talk about them. And then provide the next step. You need to tell the stakeholders what you people are planning to do next. Like now, if you are doing a status report this week, by Friday, you need to tell the stakeholders what you guys are going to do starting from Monday. And review and share. Ensure accuracy and share your report with stakeholders. So the best practice is you submit your reports and submit it by email or whichever way, but submit your report before you have a meeting. You must have a meeting. So once you submit your report, they must have gone through your report. Then during the meeting, you people can discuss what you have in your report. Tools for reporting. You can decide to use project plan. A project plan will help you a lot because that is where you are going to be picking all the information you are going to draft your report notes. Jira, if you are using Jira, you can use your sprint activities on your sprint. We are going to talk about Jira very soon. Jira and Agile projects. Power BI, I've talked about Power BI, how you can use Power BI to show insights of what we are doing. So if you are writing a report, you use documents, like what documents, you can use PowerPoint, you can use Excel, whichever one that is better for you. You can use any of them to carry out your report, but it must, not must, but the best practice is have a customized template you use for consistency. Not today you use this kind of you use Excel, the next time you use PowerPoint, the upper we use, don't use different, just have a consistent template. All you need to do is do changes, update changes within the template, and that's it. Make life easy and makes your job smarter. Example, if you've not seen a report before of This is for FoodTrackle. We've been talking about FoodTrackle. Well, I said we need to capture overview. Under the overview, talk about the project name, project manager and dates, executive summary, talk about the high level. For instance, here you see the expansion projects in progress, progressing well, market research is completed, and vendor onboarding has started. Status indicator, schedules, that is timeline, is on track. So it means everything is working according to the project plan. Budget is pending. And you talk about why the budget is pending, or if you are running over budget or under budget, you talk about it. Scope, no change in scope, is according to plan. Then you come to progress updates. Completed tasks, you see market research is completed. You say in progress, vendor onboarding is still in progress. Upcoming project, upcoming tasks or deliverable, you say logistics setup. Risk and issue, under issue here, you say vendor delay in 2 states. That is already happened. Then what are the plans to resolve this issue? Engage alternative vendors. Then you say resource allocation. All team members engaged. Additional logistics staff needed for delivery system setup. You've talked about resource allocation. Then next step, what are you planning to do the following week? Finalize vendor contract and initiate marketing campaign. With this, you have done a very good reporting. This is a very simple template, but it's very powerful. And the best practice, keep it simple, concise, focus only on key points without overwhelming details. Don't go and start. Some people will come and for reporting in my projects, they will come and they will give you detail. They will start reading. It's not necessary. Don't need to start reading everything. We already know about it. Be transparent, highlight risks and challenges openly. Tailor the audience. Yeah, you don't use a generic, don't do generic reporting. What you use for this stakeholder, every stakeholder have their uniqueness, and that is what you should do. So adapt the report format and content for a particular stakeholder. Use visuals where necessary, charts, graph, make complex data easy to understand. It's your decision to simplify your report. Your project sponsor or the stakeholder you are reporting might not be a project manager. Don't think anybody you are going to report or work under is a project manager. They understand everything you are doing. They do not. So you need to simplify your work for a layman to understand what you are doing. And it has to be professional as well. Stay consistent. Like I said, you need to use a template so that everything will look professional and the same. Benefits of status reports: improve communication, keep stakeholders aligned with project goal, enhance risk management, early identification and resolution of challenges, progress tracking, ensure milestones are met on time and within the budget, informed decision, provide stakeholders with actionable insights. That's it for project status reporting. If you have any question on project status reporting, you can ask your question. Any question before we move to the next topic? All right, we're moving to the next topic, and that is lesson learned. Lesson learned reports or meeting. Lesson learned is a very valuable document and a status meeting in project management is extremely important because that is where you document all your experiences. Company use this to build knowledge base. You've handled these projects. You document all your challenges, how you solve your problems. This is lesson you learn. You made a mistake in so many areas. You corrected that mistake. It needs to be documented in a professional way. So you become a reference point. Company do not joke with it. You have to do that. So what is lesson learned here or lesson learned meeting? In as much as you are going to have a document, you still will have to, as a team, you need to have a meeting. For me, is a statutory meeting. Statutory meeting that is a compulsory meeting. It's not whether do we do it or would we not do it. I like merging or doing it at the same time, lesson learned meeting with RAID meeting. Immediately after RAID meeting, we talk about the risk, document the risk and the issues within the RAID. The next thing after the RAID meeting, you start a lesson learned. So people then are fresh with their problem, their challenges. They are there to contribute based on their challenges, how they solve their problem for the lesson. And you do not wait for lesson learn meeting for the project to finish. The best approach is every week capture it, because it's one of the documents you need to present at the end of the meeting. So if you do not document it enough, you might start forgetting a lot of things. So it's a meeting conducted at the end of the project to identify what went well, what could have been improved, and key takeaway for future projects. Yeah, you must do it at the end of the where we submit all the lesson learned from the meeting. But for you to have a good work, you must be doing it every week. Capture it as it happens, fresh. Importance of lesson learned, continuous improvement. It helps in continuous improvement, improve processes and methodologies for future projects. So it's one thing I do. If I join an organization, the first thing I want to rush into is their lesson learned folder or repository. I go through their lesson learned, see how they have been challenged, most of the challenges, the former projects or previous projects, what the project managers have faced and the way they corrected it. And it helped to give me a very good overview of what their project environment is all about. So lesson learned equally is knowledge sharing, provide a record of experience for the organization and the team. And risk mitigation, it helps in identifying recurring issues and strategies to prevent them. And team development encourages open communication and foster a culture of learning. Steps of conducting lesson learned meeting. Plan the meeting scheduled early, conduct the meeting shortly after completing or completion to the ensure detail and freshness. Invite stakeholders, include team members, sponsors, and key stakeholders. So all the team members, everybody must be involved in the lesson learned, and prepare materials. Gather project documentation, performance metrics, and feedback. This mainly if you are conducting it at the end of the project, or like I said, the best practice is pick important issues on weekly basis. Have lesson learned meeting on weekly basis, not just at the end of the project. Structure of the meeting: welcome and purpose. Start by explaining the objectives, reflect on objective, review project goals and whether they are achieved, discuss key areas. Divide the discussion under the following categories: what went well, what didn't go well, what could have been improved, suggestion for further projects. Facilitate open discussion, encourage honest and constructive feedback. Use techniques like brainstorming, anonymous survey to gather input. Ensure all team members have an opportunity to contribute. And 4, record the lesson learned. Is your duty to record the lesson learned or assign a note taker. Use a collaborative tool to document feedback in real time. Categorize feedback and into actionable item, observation and recommendation. Yeah, after the lesson learned, you've captured a lot of challenges, a lot of ideas, a lot of suggested solutions. You need to categorize them. At times it might be overwhelming because one problem you might capture a lot of solutions from different team members. So it's help you to categorize them, categorize feedback from different team members into categories. It will help you. And don't just leave based on the challenges and the solution contribution, decide the next action to take. You must decide on actionable items. What are we going to do immediately? You are not waiting for anything to happen again, so you start immediately. Actionable items must be itemized. Identify actionable outcome. Prioritize lesson learned based on impact and relevance. Assign ownership for implementing the improvement. So when you have categorized and identify and prioritize the actionable item, you must make sure that you assign it to someone to own it and work around it and implement the improvement, necessary improvement. Is now going to be as like a mini project within the bigger project. Lesson learned document. So this is how a lesson learned document or template should look like. You have a project overview. the successes, challenges, improvement area, and action items. Brief summary of projects, including objective, timeline, and deliverable. Aspects of the project that went well and contributed to the success. Challenges, issues or roadblocks during the week or given period. If you are reporting on weekly, it has to be within the week. Yeah, I've seen people, they want to report everything. If they are doing a weekly lesson learned, then you have to be reporting on weekly basis. Don't report what happened in the just immediate that week you are working on. That's what you are going to report. Don't report what's the week that is not part of the week. Some people will start reporting everything that happened within the week. Don't capture them, make the work not look good. Improvement area, recommendation for processes or action to improve future projects. And then action items. Just like we've been doing example using a FoodTrackr. This is the name of the project, the meeting summary, the dates, the participants, and the key insights, what went well, what didn't go well, and improvement area and action. We have what didn't go well, or what went, let's start with what went well. Timely stakeholder engagement, yeah. Use recommendation. Use the same communication strategy for future project, because we are talking about what went well. It means that we have timely stakeholder engagement, and we recommend we continue using it. What didn't go well? Delay in integration with local delivery partners. It did not go well. So what are the recommendations? Start partnering earlier with future expansion. So you need to start earlier with partnership. Improvements, insufficient training for new team members in new states. Allocate a dedicated training phase for onboarding. Actionable items. Develop a standardized onboarding process for expansion. Assign recommendation. Assign training lead for next project. And that's it. So you see, you've captured all that went well, all that didn't go. So we are learning, and we already have improvement. So like I said, lesson learned is a way of documenting our mistakes and learning from our what we did well. Is like they would name sound. Lesson learned is an avenue for us to learn from our mistakes and improve. Your project, it should be a continuous improvement. The way you started the project shouldn't be the way you continue. You must continue to improve. Through lesson learned, you continue to improve in every aspect of your projects, deliverables, and yeah. That's it. Lesson learned. So I encourage you to should be able to apply lesson learned. And like I said, every week, you have a lesson learned with your team. And best practice, document continuously. Capture insight throughout the project life cycle, not just at the end. Focus on solution. Highlight actionable recommendation rather than just problems. People are there to learn on how you solve problems. Make it actionable. Store lesson learned in, so make it accessible. Store lesson learned in centralized location for future reference. Apply insight, ensure lesson learned are integrated into planning phase of new projects. So these are the things we should do all the time. The continuous process, and we have to start doing it on time. If you do not do lesson learned on time, if you are waiting at the end of the project for you to sit down, invite people and tell them what went well and didn't, they will forget. They must have forgotten. For instance, if the project is 2 years project, and at the end of the 2 years, you call stakeholders or team members to come and talk about what went well and what didn't go well, you will forget a lot of things. But if you are doing it periodically, like every month or every week, all you need to do is summarize, bind everything you capture within the period, the life cycle of the project, document them, put them together, and it becomes a one binding lesson learned for the whole period. And that's it. It's extremely important. I've learned a lot from other people's lesson learned document. I don't joke with lesson learned document. If any organization, the first thing I go to their project library is to start looking for lesson learned, to know how people made mistakes and how they corrected their mistakes and how they achieved all the key projects that were delivered, successful projects. I want to see how those projects were delivered. So that's it for tonight. So thank you for joining. If you have a question, you can ask me a question now. Okay, thank you everyone. Can see we don't have any question. We'll continue to improve on everything we do. So we'll continue to make sure that our videos, our recorded our resources are prompt. That is what we call continuous improvement. Just like I said, in project, we continue to improve. Yeah. And thank you. And I will see you tomorrow again.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Good night.